Alola Pokemon trainers, this is GatorEX, and a while ago I made a video discussing some of the weird sizes of new Pokemon introduced in Sun and Moon. In this video I mentioned how Cosmoem weighs over 2,400 pounds or 999.9 kilograms, and I made a small joke commenting about how it seems impossible for Lillie to be able to hold Cosmoem in her bag. And since then I keep getting comments stating that Cosmoem floats inside the bag, and that this would counteract Lillie having to be insanely strong to be able to carry this Pokemon in her bag. The thing is, it would be very convoluted in order for Cosmoem to be able to float inside the bag at all times. And on top of that, Cosmoem would have to float inside around the center of the bag constantly, always adjusting for whenever Lillie might stop walking or continue walking. Because if Cosmoem was floating inside of the bag and Lillie was standing still, then she suddenly decides to walk forward, Cosmoem would have to be able to read this movement before it happens and adjust its flotation, which would cause problems for Lillie as there is now this 2,000-pound object holding her back. Now, of course, Cosmoem is a psychic type Pokemon and uses psychic levitation. There is no real world equivalent for this, as psychic levitation is made up. But again, in order to float inside the center of the bag and not cause any problems whenever Lillie is walking, Cosmoem would have to read her movements before she makes them. And again, even though Cosmoem is a psychic type Pokemon, it is dormant. It is stated in the story of the games to not be moving and to not react to anything. We only see Cosmoem floating a little in order to preserve itself. And we do see it float around later in the game, but that is only due to the power of the sun or moon depending on which game you are playing. And even on top of that, it's being filled with energy so that it can evolve into either Solgaleo or Lunala. Further adding to this, the only moves that Cosmoem learns are Teleport and Cosmic Power. These are relatively simple moves when it comes to psychic type Pokemon, being only either to teleport back to where it was or to gain more defense. The very idea of Cosmoem is that it is a dormant cocoon Pokemon, a transitional stage between Cosmog and either Solgaleo or Lunala. And just saying that Cosmoem simply floats inside the bag at all times and doesn't cause any hindrance to Lillie in that way is ignoring the real problem that was meant to be addressed when I stated it's crazy for Lillie to be able to hold this Pokemon inside of her bag. And that problem is that Pokemon sizes and weights are Tauros crap. We've seen in the anime as Ash is able to hold Pokemon that should be much heavier, and even in the main series games when Pokemon are sized down or sized up inside battle, or even in Heart Gold and Soul Silver when Pokemon are sized down so that they're able to follow you. The point is that even though the Pokemon games are great, they fail when it comes to accurately representing sizes and weights of Pokemon. I'm not saying that Game Freak should go out of their way in order to accurately represent these Pokemon in battle or when following you or in cutscenes or the anime. I'm just saying that this is a problem when you introduce so many unique creatures and want them to be interacted with the player or other characters in these ways. But with this flaw being in the games and the anime, I feel like we as fans should be able to make fun of it now and again, but also acknowledge that it's acceptable just because of some of the limitations of the game and the imagination of the Pokemon. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you still stand by the fact that Cosmoem floats inside this bag, or have you accepted that sizes and weights for Pokemon are just nonsense? And remember, for every comment that states Cosmoem floats in the bag, it adds on 1 more minute to Slowpoke being frozen. And on top of that, it postpones me making these important videos that I know you really want to see. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully we can continue this discussion. There were a bunch of other Pokemon mentioned in that video that just have nonsense sizes, but I feel the fun of getting new Pokemon and new measurements for them is that they are ridiculous. Anyway, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the content and subscribe if you'd like to stick around for more videos. If you do subscribe, please do remember to click that notification button, because then you will for sure be notified of each new upload as it comes out. Also, I do want to remind you that I have a vlog channel now. Hopefully I can continue to post some more stuff on there. And lastly, I just hope you're enjoying this brand new fresh year of Pokemon possibilities. Anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.